Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are logged into this call. I see this is a jam-packed call tonight. My name is Dr. Anthony Osegali, Ambassador with Global World Trade. I'm delighted, of course, to be on this particular webinar. We have our CEO on with us for an absolutely amazing fireside chat. And of course, you can be guaranteed that this is going to take all of us into a greater level of achievement, greater level of accomplishment, and absolute increased momentum in this next decade that we're already rocking. And so, right away, I just want to quickly just introduce our CEO again to all of us. We, of course, are not new to this amazing man, this pioneer, this great inventor, creator. I call him the forensic professor. All right, our CEO is a millionaire maker. He has made several millionaires. He's been out there in the field with decades of experience in direct sales. He's a compensation plan expert. All right. I mean, the accolades are just amazing. The leader that has been recognized not only in direct sales, but of course, several accolades from mainline Orthodox media organizations and, of course, countries as well. It's my absolute pleasure tonight to, of course, bring on the call the CEO of the fastest growing designer brand in the world, the best designer brand in the world, and of course, the best company in direct sales in the entire world. Of course, an amazing man with a golden heart, Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou. Are you there, sir?
Good afternoon, good evening. Of course, I'm here. Revved up, revved up. It's a bit of a heavy heart because I just come back from another gathering at Sana's woman's father, that's the woman's house. Sana's woman lost her grandma early this morning. And of course, we gathered to support Sana's dad. That's his mother that passed away this morning. That young lady, though, lived a great life. I think she was well over 90. So she had a great life. And but I left, I came here to spend some time with my Nigerian family. And today it's going to be a phone call because it's not really a training. I mean, you got some of the best right there in Nigeria to give you all the answers that you need. So it's not really a training. It's basically a fireside chat where I kind of cover some current realities of our business, whether it is to affects you in your market, or whether it affects the industry as a whole. So we're going to talk about some of that, because some of the leaders will come on and share some stuff with you as well. I find that once you understand the basics of this industry, and you'll find very quickly that it's not really, the training. Obviously, the training is ongoing, and you'll get all the time. But what you're going to find is that is these little fireside chats is when you catch so much stuff that that's going to help you in your business. So that's why I said, I think it's time that we do a fireside chat and just share some information with our people there. And I know you guys are going through some economical challenges, and but when through something like this, it seems like the world is coming to an end, and it really isn't. But before I get into that, I want to put a shout out for our hero of the day or hero of the night, Aluchua, who's the ambassador of the month from Cameroon, the new market of Cameroon. She's already stepping up, becoming the ambassador of the month, and this is what this industry is all about. Look, in any sport, in any type of business, in any field, the superstars of that field, whether it's IT or sports or whatever, they step up to the plate. Doesn't matter how nervous they get, doesn't matter how new they are. They step up, they got the fire, they got the desire, they step up. And of course, when you step up, a whole bunch of people come together to make sure that, you're going to be fine. And these are the folks that go hit a financial home run in any business, including ours. So, Electro, congratulations. You represent your country well. It's a big call which you have hosted. So we, again, proud of you, young lady. So going back and talk about Nigeria, it seems like, when I talk to some of the Nigerian leaders, and although they're superstars, they may still be new for the industry. And sometimes they mention the popular mantra now our economy is down and all of this, which really has absolute zero negative impact on your GWT business or in your M business. In fact, it's the contrary. So let me share with you. Again, I keep talking about Nigeria, Africa, Caribbean, some of these newer MLM markets. It's going to take you a while, a decade or so, a couple of decades to understand how this industry works. But the MLM industry as a whole thrives on economical challenges. So every time the economy collapses, MLM explodes. When Canada had its explosion was in the 1980s when they had a massive economical collapse. So, and everybody had to get in to the MLM industry. We got a big influx of people getting in because people had no job security. Those old days of get a good education and get a good job with a good company like IBM is over. When was the last time you heard that? In the 80s, you heard it all the time. Get a good education, get a good company, a good job with a good company like Xerox or IBM. And of course, all those companies are either gone or have downgraded immensely. So in the 80s, when Canada collapsed, MLM exploded, and it's been great ever since. What you'll find is that when the economy is strong and there's good jobs and there's job security and people are comfortable, I say that in quotation, they're not looking to do more to make more money. Most people just do just enough what they need to live. So it's like the person who never thinks about his health, never thinks about losing weight or his diet or going to the gym till the doctor says something is wrong, right? Now all of a sudden, they start watching what they're eating, they go to the gym, and so forth. Same happens with our financial side, where most people, as long as they got a good job, they don't have to live large, but as long as what they perceive to be comfortable, they won't do any more than that. They love this quote-unquote balanced life, which I do not believe whatsoever. And by the way, none of the top 1% of the world who control 96% of the money, they don't believe in this word balanced life. It is a complete sham. It's a reason why people struggle around the world, but that's another conversation. That's another day altogether. So when the economies are strong, people are not looking for another revenue stream, which means, our businesses grow, but, it grows like a normal business because there's always people who that could use more money. But when our industry explodes, MLM industry, the GWT, is when there is a pressure that's built up within your society, your country, within your region, globally. And when that pressure comes where people start to get nervous about their jobs, job security, wage freezes, full-time jobs become part-time jobs, inflation, put up the cost of living, all of a sudden, year by year, your debt ratio goes higher because as inflation pushes up this cost of living and your job raise on a year after year basis can't keep up with inflation, that's true in Canada as well, then you either have to reduce your lifestyle or you have to borrow to maintain your lifestyle. Most people, they don't like to reduce their lifestyle. I certainly know being in Nigeria, Nigerians don't like to reduce their lifestyle because many of you live very, very large. So what happens is then people start to borrow to finance that lifestyle. Eventually, your debt gets to a point that you have to pull the plug and do the bankruptcy. And this is why the bankruptcy ratios in the world, including Canada, is in the all-time high. So this is why when the economy is down, that's when a lot of people start to think, okay, you know what? I need to find another way of making money. Whether that's starting a business, which most people, that's not viable. They have a full-time job. They can't go put another full-time effort into something different. They need, who's got the capital to start a traditional business? For some people, 20 years ago, okay, I'll get a part-time job outside my full-time job. Well, that was possible then. But most people now already have two jobs. They always do a part-time job on the side. They can't get a third job. So the reason why MLM explodes is that it gives people an option to become self-employed when the economy is down, and they can have full control of their investment as well as the time investment, financial and time investment. They can work at 10, 12, 15 hours a week on a part-time basis till, and use an extra $1,000 or $1,500 a month, $500 a month to add to. Listen, $500 a month is a big deal. It's a big deal. You know, I know in MLM we talk a lot about, you know, 10,000 and 20,000. But put that aside for a minute. It's nice that we have that option. But extra $500 a month, extra $1,000 a month, part-time, what a beautiful story that is. Part-time, I made it $1,500, $500, $300. Hey, listen, you can get yourself a new car for that. You can upgrade your current car to a luxury car. You can get a home bigger. You can own a house by having an extra $500 if you don't own one now. So that extra $500, $1,000, $1,500 a month can make a huge impact on your life. For some people, it is a difference between solvency and bankruptcy. I can tell you in Canada, again, I keep beating up on Canada a lot because Canada is known to be the benchmark, the financial stability benchmark of the world. And I love that because it's not true. You know, well, if it is true, it just shows how bad the rest of the world is because it's not great over here. You know, in Canada, the bankruptcy is an all-time high. Not only is it an all-time high, the scary part about that is, in the old days, somebody went bankrupt in their 50s and 60s, perhaps. Now the bankruptcies are getting younger and younger. People are becoming bankrupt at 30s and 40s. And so it's, you know, again, going back to what I was talking about, where people try to borrow to maintain their lifestyle, and eventually, you know, the debt gets so high that you got to pull the plug. So in Canada, the difference between solvency and bankruptcy is $300 a month. That's an actual fact. That's an actual stat from Stat Canada. So $300 a month would take somebody who's gone bankrupt, most people, to not being bankrupt, because if you're down $300 this month, the next month you're 6, the following month you're 9, following month you're 12, and 15, 18. Eventually, 2 years later, you find yourself in a hole, then it's too big of a hole to come out. So, you know, so there you go. That's how important that $300, $500, $700 a month is. The part-time story is what I love it. Imagine you make an extra $500, a cycle a month with us. Say it's cycle. Nothing fancy, just a cycle a month. That's $500 a month. And you buy your wife or your daughter, your son, a new car, economical car, nothing fancy, you know. And I know over there you guys don't have lease payments or whatever. Forget about the car. You get them something, you know, that people are, you know, start to see that you're increasing your lifestyle with. Because in other countries, for $500 a month, you can really lease a BMW, right? But I know you don't have that in Nigeria, but it is a big deal when you start upgrading your lifestyle with an extra $500. I was looking at some stats earlier today, and I know that we talked about how the middle class in Nigeria, they do about $600 to $700 a month. But when you take a look at the overall population, which are 25% of Africa's population is Nigeria. Unbelievable. You guys are a quarter of Africa in Nigeria. So when you look at the average income per capita in Nigeria, it's about $350 a month. That's the average per capita, not the middle class, just everybody combined, right? So it goes to show you how incredible an opportunity like this that somebody can get in at a very low cost. They have control over their time, so they don't have to quit their job and kill their current income to do it. They could do it on a part-time basis, put 10, 12, 14 hours a week into it, and build a beautiful part-time income. So right now, the whole point is that you're going through an economical challenges down in Nigeria, which is, by the way, not unique to you at all. Look what happened to UK this week. They're anticipating a massive crash, or the economical crash down there right now. This stuff happens all over the world, and every time something like this happens, network marketers, they celebrate. It's like somebody just put a special on for us. Before, we didn't have that special. Now we have a 2-for-1, 3-for-1, because the people who were not open to MLM before, now they have no choice but to be open to MLM, because guess what? They're either financing the lifestyle or you got to reduce the lifestyle. There's no other way to do it other than having a revenue stream. You can go get a part-time job, but what does that get you really, right? So That's why MLM explodes. So when somebody calls and says, oh, you know, the economy is going down, you know, I said celebrate, pop a bottle of champagne. It's like somebody just put a, that 2-for-1 special in your market, and you start talking to people. And when you talk to people, just basically simple. Hey, Johnny, what do you think of the economy? Oh, man, it's bad. Listen, do you have, 10, 12, 14 hours a week to put into something on a part-time basis, makes extra $500, $1,000 a month? Do you have that time? Of course I have that time. Who doesn't have that time? 12, 14 hours a week, part-time, aside from what you're doing, make an extra $500, $1,000. You don't have to talk about $10,000. You don't have to talk about that. Because the masses can significantly change their life with an extra $300, $500 a month, especially on your part of the world, right? Of course, we have the top earners, but I think what happens is that, especially in our company, and I'm going to tell you something that's kind of unorthodox and kind of sounds weird a little bit and strange. We have our people in our business, the fact that they go up faster, we create the fastest millionaires. We create the fastest $10,000 a month guys, fastest $25,000, fastest $100,000 income earners in MLM. I don't even think that's an asset. Honestly, I'm starting to think that's a liability. Because what happens is we've become accustomed to quick money, which is not reality in MLM or any other business. So when there's a correction in our business, then all of a sudden we're discouraged. All you have to do is take a look at the number of people you have, take the average of your income and what number of people you have, providing you have 2 legs, right? If you got 1 leg, you didn't build it. Someone else has built it for you. You're not doing anything. Providing you have 2 legs, right? When you take a look at the average of income, doesn't matter what it is, to what people you have there, and what you see is far better than the averages of any other MLM company in the world. We had some type of, we have a crazy comp plan to begin with, it's just pays so much more than anyone else. Then we doubled down on the problem by putting some crazy specials like the double IA program. Remember that? All the products. Of course, people are upgrading and putting their kids and their fridge and their stove just to get that extra product, right? That just doubles your check and quadruples your check. Now you're hitting these crazy numbers. The special comes off. Your business goes back to work. And then on top of that, because you're doing these crazy numbers, you stop recruiting like you used to before. You stop building and selling and buying. You stop because now you're running into management mode and doing more training than doing what you're supposed to do. Then when a correction comes, which always does, by the way, then all of a sudden we're discouraged. We're still doing 5 times better than anyone else in any other company, but because our imagination has been stretched, then all of a sudden we can't go back, right? Doesn't matter if you're doing good still. So we to say that, some of the stuff we did, which was great, made a lot of money for people, I think it set a unexpected, an unreasonable expectation, unreasonable bar, because if you're a new person and you see, Razak went to $25,000 a month in his first year, well, that's the benchmark that you know. So if you made $1,000 or $2,000 a month after the first year, you're disappointed, although it's 3 times more than what the average Nigerian makes in a full-time job, but you're disappointed because at the end of the day, your benchmark wasn't that extra $5,500, $2,000 to $2,000 a month. Your benchmark was at $25,000. Well, Comfort comes in, blows it out of the park in the first year, and she's been doing it year after year. So all of a sudden, you look at those benchmarks, and I think it's good to have those stories. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is, though, the way the message is delivered sometimes is that, everybody's going to get there. But of course, not everybody's going to get there. So today I just want to have a chat with you, tell you that, look, this economical issues, I guess one of the advantages of having a CEO that's been in the industry for 26 years is that I've seen this over and over and over and over again, not just in Canada, in the United States. I mean, look, in 2008, U.S. collapsed. The collapse that they had, you've never had in Nigeria. I mean, people were devastated. Again, this stuff happens all over the world. So you're going through it. And, people say, sometimes I've been talking to some people, or they send me a message saying, oh, yeah, the exchange is hurting our business. Trust me, the exchange is not hurting your business. The exchange has nothing to do with your business. Much like the people who were doing MLM in Nigeria 5 years ago, 10 years ago, The exchange was completely different then. It made no difference that it was what was last year. People were still doing the business 5 years ago. They did the business 2 years ago. They did the business last year. They do the business now. And 5 years from now, it makes no difference. It's like saying, you know, it's difficult to buy a home now because the mortgage rates are different than it was 10 years ago. Well, so what? People never going to stop buying homes. You know, it makes no difference. The first home we bought, my mother bought, the mortgage rate on it was 10% plus. This is in the 80s. Imagine a 10% mortgage, right? Standard around the world at the time. Now it's at 2%. It makes no difference. Real estate goes booming. When it goes booming, then it corrects itself, then it goes booming again. Business, people are everywhere. They come in, they adopt the current realities. The only people that think there's a problem is the people who know what the difference is. It's like you guys. You guys know. The next person that comes into a business, they don't know any better. All they know is that if before it cost them, I don't know, you know, 500,000 for diamond. Now it costs them 600,000 for diamond. I can tell you right now, if 600,000 is a problem, 500,000 was also a problem. It's either they see it or they don't see it. Nobody ever said, "Hey, 500,000, well, that's a bargain." Nobody said that, right? So when they came in, and before they came in, they didn't know what it was either. So if it was 500,000, you get the same reaction. If it was 400,000, you get the same reaction because the new people don't know any better. And you know, here to give another example, you think your currency is bad? Just looking at just some of the currencies around the world. Japan is the number one, you know, it's the number one MLM market in the world. You know, and again, their currency for the last 20 years have been extremely, they've taken a massive hit. Yet the MLM industry explodes. Of course, they have a very, very expensive lifestyle down there. Iran, I can tell you right now, my own country, Iran, they're going to be the benchmark of MLM over the next 2 years. They're going to set records the world has never seen. In Canada, we've been doing MLM for about, I guess, 50 years. 50 years in Canada. And the latest stat that I saw, Canada had just shy of 900,000 network marketers. So 50 years in MLM. It's free, it's legal, it's highly respected. Our Prime Minister talked about it, right? And after 50 years in MLM, we have 900,000 in that area. We're 17th in the world for network marketers. So about 900,000 network marketers in Canada after 50 years. Now let me tell you, in Iran, the country that was under sanction for 40 years, MLM was illegal. They actually hanged people in the beginning and they put people in jail. Even though it was illegal till recently, now it's legal. Iran, their Iranian government smartened up too finally. You know, I think Iran and Chinese government, they were two last governments to finally get it. But anyways, it's legal now. But even when it was illegal, well, people could fall in jail at a 3,000 to 1 exchange. 3,000 Iranian, which is 30,000 Iranian rial, which is the worst in the world, by the way. 30,000 Iranian rial to $1. While the industry was illegal, Iran has over 1 million network marketers. Iran has more network marketers in few years under illegal than Canada has in 50 years where everything is readily available. But what's that tell you? Is because again, when Iran was under sanctions, the people were pressured. They needed to do something even if it was illegal. And now we have over 1 million network marketers. Now, of course, Iran is open. Everybody's going to Iran now, doing seminars down there. I'm being asked every week to bring the forensic networker, to bring the GWT. And on July 15, I'm flying to Iran to finalize my registration down there. I can tell you, we're going to have 1 million distributors in Iran next 24 months in GWT. If you know some Persians, it's a good time for you guys to start connecting with them. Point I'm making is that they've exploded, where the currency went from 6 Iranian rial to dollar, which was 30, 40 years ago, to 30,000 to 1. It doesn't matter. The new person doesn't care. Because the new person, whatever the exchange is, that's the exchange when they buy stereos, food, cars, pay, whatever they spend money on, that's the reality. So nobody's going to go to, if they need a phone, no one's going to go and say, you know what, oh, damn, because of the exchange, I'm not going to go buy a phone. You know, they may even complain about it because the prices got gone up, but they do it anyways, right? So at the end of the day, in 6 months from now, a year from now, no one is going to even talk about this exchange rate. Let me give you a little story, which is not really, I don't like to talk about it, but I think you should know. It's important that you know. 2 days ago, as you know, Nigeria has a new finance minister. Well, he decided that, well, since they stopped basically the economy with their banking restrictions and black market is exploding, they figure, you know what we need to do? We need to get the banks doing a trade again on foreign exchange, but they dropped the Nigeria currency by 30%. 30% overnight. So imagine me leaving home, office, and I look at my bank account. Show up the very next day. This is 2 days ago now, 3 days ago. This is a recent development. Come back the very next day. I check my bank account, and I lost over $510,000 in 12 hours. True story. It just happened 3 to 4 days ago. $510,000 it dropped because the Nigerian new finance minister wants the bank to get involved because instead of the black market making all the money, they want to make their own money. They want to make the money themselves. So, but they dropped the currency. So I can sit down and have a pity party. I won't. It is what it is. That's fine. You take your hit and you just work even harder to get it back, right? So we're motivated to do that. But point I'm making to you is that this stuff will happen. It'll happen again. So if you think this is bad, just wait. It'll be one bigger than that coming later on. I'll get you ready for it right now. You'll go up and down, just like Canada, all these other countries. UK right now is worried. It's funny because what's going on in the UK, every news organization in the world is talking about it because it will affect America. It will affect Canada. The index in the US dropped by 600 points because of UK decided to exit the euro. So this stuff happens, it's all of your control, but guess what? People will remain people, and people will keep on doing what they're doing. And the more pressure there is on people, the more they're motivated to do more, to maintain and sustain their lifestyle. Look at yourself. I mean, if something was to happen and to you and life becomes tougher, you got two choices. Either you reduce your lifestyle, or you borrow to maintain a lifestyle, which is not a good plan. Or the smart ones would say, you know what? Obviously, I need to increase my revenue stream. So this is why MLM is so amazing. Everybody can adopt to it. And it doesn't matter what happens in Nigeria, doesn't matter what happens in anywhere in the world, MLM is the last bastion of the free enterprise. It's the last chance for the average person to hit a financial home run. MLM is going to be the last place that people can rely on always to be able to. Now, I think it should be the first place, right? So all the diehard people, it should be the first place you should be looking at, not traditional business, not a better job. It's the first place you should go, and I can give you documents, and I can give you hours of argument why it's the absolute best in the world. But for the people who are not really savvy in these things, when it comes down to bankruptcy, dying, or this is the industry that's always there. So you know what? I'm going to get into this, and I'm going to save my family. So it's an unbelievable opportunity for you Nigerians. I guess this was a long discussion on this, but what you're going through is a sale that your economy just provided for you. It's like having a 2-for-1 sale, 3-for-1 sale. I mean, how difficult it is to call your friends, meet people in the street, and say, hey, what do you think of the economy? Oh, man, it's horrible. Hey, listen, you have 10, 12, 14 hours a week to go make an extra $500 a month? Who's going to say no to that? Well, how do I do that? Well, let's get together, make an appointment, boom, show them, here we go, right? So MLM is going to thrive. So people who are going to get left behind in this sale that's going on right now in your market are the ones who think this is a bad thing. I mean, hey, listen, if your perspective is basically what rules you. The reality is right now is the best time in Nigeria, far better time in Nigeria to do MLM, to do GWT than it was 2 years ago. It was 3 years ago. Why? Because your economy is going down. Your economy goes down, two things will happen. More people get into MLM because the last thing they could do, and of course crimes go up because a lot of times what happens, people know they have to feed their families. I think if we can get everybody on MLM, if the government still support it, we can talk about in a viable way or be able to supplement your income just like a part-time job. You don't have any crime anymore, do you? because it's a viable, promoted, it's a type of, it becomes a culture of something to do. One thing about Nigerians, and I know you guys like to live large. I was there and I saw how you guys live, and it doesn't matter if you're a middle class or if you're upper middle class or top class, whatever it is. I find that people love to live it up, and much like most people in North America, not so much Canada. I think Canadians are a little bit more conservative, but Americans are certainly like this way. Much like Americans, they like to live beyond their means. So that is, again, it's not a good business plan. It's not good to live beyond your means. But in MLM, in business in general, but especially in MLM, 30 years ago I learned something. The best people to prospect in MLM are the people who had a big life, lost it or losing it, and want it back or want to save it. So in other words, people who were rich, they're losing it or they lost it and they want it back. Those are the people that are absolutely best people to prospect. Why? Because they've tasted success, they've tasted a big life, they've lost it and they want it back. The imagination has stretched to a point that living modestly is just not going to do it. Those people are the absolute best to prospect. So again, there's a lot of people in Nigeria who had thriving businesses at one time, but now all of a sudden they find that pressure of the realities. Talk to them. I mean, this is what makes MLM so beautiful, is that not only you're 25% of Africa, man, there's a lot of people to talk to. In Canada, we got 30 million. So, but it's a business beyond border. You can take it, you can launch in Warri, and then start building in Cameroon like they're doing, like Dr. Anthony and Joy. You can build it in UK, like Abdul Razak, and I know that some of the other Nigerians start hubs now in America and Texas and so forth. So again, it's a business that's not even contained within Nigeria like other types of business are. It's a business you can launch right from your home. Doesn't matter where you are in Nigeria, and the very same moment, pick up the phone, call somebody in South Africa, and boom, you got a mall pumping over there. That's the beautiful, again, this is why our business is much better than other businesses. Now, I'm talking a lot about MLM in general because I'm a big fan of the industry as a whole. I think everybody should survive and thrive in MLM, and they are. But where we have a major advantage over other companies, if you were selling a skincare or if you're selling some type of nutritional product or herbal product or weight loss product, well, you couldn't do what I just said, which is pick up the phone, call South Africa, and open it up. Because when it comes down to health products, countries are very strict. You have to get it approved before you can do business there. That's true with every MLM company out there except GWT. Our products, because it's not health, so we can pick up the phone, call anybody, send them a shoe, right? So those things, all we have to do is worry about the VAT charges and do this, which again, the company does a lot to help with that as well. So again, your opportunity right now, I hope that I've educated you on this, that when the economy goes down, you pop a champagne in MLM. This is 100% stat. This is not a 99%, oh, our market is different. Trust me, no, you're different. Your market is not different. Everybody is the same. You either lose your home or you find a way to make more money. I mean, what else is it? There's no other options. Either lose your home or find a way to make other money. And most people say, you know what, I want to find another way to make other money. And MLM is such a readily available platform for that, isn't it? It's so awesome. So again, I've dealt with that, I think. And I came across an article, and I think this shows the advantage of MLM again. And the article is from a website called Vanguard NGR, which is Nigeria, I'm assuming.com. And basically, the study said 99% of the businesses may die by March in Nigeria because of this banking platform. 99% businesses may die. This is the article in Vanguard. Vanguard is an international business platform, media. So again, how beautiful. This is why, by the way, the government is stepping in now, and they're opening up the borders again, except at a much higher rate, but they open up the borders again. So this idea of the 160 that you had last week doesn't exist anymore. Now even the banks have that 221, 222, everything has changed now. In a way, I'm happy because there's no more confusion. Now, I'm still hoping that although for us nothing has changed, that there's no more fees for us to bring our money out. That's a different conversation. But because sometimes we still get emails saying, then what do we pay 160, or we get 160, we pay 230, and I want to talk about that. You never paid us a penny, and I think your leaders understand this. How it worked out was because of the banking restrictions. When you paid 230, the only way to get the money out to bring this into Canada, we had to go through another third party, which is black market BDC, and they would charge us about 230, 240, all depends, 220, whatever, to bring us to get the money out. So in other words, the other portion, the difference between 160 and 230, was being charged by your own banks. So we never got it. That's why we had to cover that. Obviously, it's not a company issue. It is a Nigeria issue. We still get the money that you pay us or less because there are some fees that I'm still covering. But since this week, that's changed now because your new finance minister now allowing the banks again, not the third party, allowing the banks again to start doing trade on dollar. But what they have done though, they've dropped the value of your currency. So now there is no such thing as a 160 anymore. If you went to Zenith Bank, you will see that it's going to be about 230, 235, because XT.com says 222, but then that's XT.com even in Canada. We can't rely on those because even Canadian banks, they add a lot to it. In Nigeria, my guess is about 230, 240 for Canadian dollar. So now there's no more confusion that there was a 160. There is no more 160 as of this week. Your banks have changed. Anyway, it's irrelevant. I really don't want to spend time in that. You can just talk to your offline. Just go to the bank and they'll tell you. I mean, call your bank and they'll tell you what the rates are and so forth. But it's irrelevant if it was 250. It's irrelevant if it's 300. It's irrelevant if it's 500. It's irrelevant if it's 1,000. I just give you an example. Iran has more network marketers in 2 years than Canada in 50 years, and their currency, because of the sanctions, had dropped to 30,000 to 1. It's the worst in the world. The worst. And every MLM company now is going to Iran. 16 companies has opened the doors in Iran last year. 16. Many of them are illegal because Iran doesn't give licenses, but unless you're a local company, but they don't care. Iranians are rushing into it, even with the country. It's an oil country, just like your country is an oil country. But so they don't care if the currency dropped. Nigerians will not care. Next year, no one is going to care that it's going to cost $600,000 for a diamond package. They don't know any better. The person who's looking at you today, they don't know what it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. They don't. All they know is what it is on the PowerPoint. If they like what they see, they get going. The only way that it's going to be a problem is if you think it's a problem, because you know what it was before, and now it's changed too. And if you're going to have a problem with that, you can't live in this society. You go buy a car, they have a special this week, they don't have a special next week. What are you going to do? Call them, give me last year's special? It doesn't work that way, dude. Life doesn't work that way. You can't go to the bank for get a mortgage. Well, my cousin got a mortgage at this rate 2 years ago, so can you give it to me at that rate? No, it's today's rate. Whatever it is what you're getting. That's how life works. So get over it. Don't put artificial, barriers for yourself. And yeah, some of your people you have now, they require some tough talk like I'm giving you right now, to understand, listen, this is business. In business, things happen out of our control, right? You can quit business and leave it to Beaver and see how the economy will treat you. You can do that. That's one option. Oh, I don't like it. Well, if you don't like it, Jim Rohn says, if you don't like how the world operates, go start your own world. Go start your own planet. So it's unfair. Well, I don't know. If you're God, then I guess you get to make those decisions that how things should be, whether you think it's fair or not. We have no say in the marketplace. We operate within the rules of the marketplace, nor is it relevant, because the same person that's looking at your business has to deal with the exact same environment in anything else they buy and sell and do outside this business. So don't give yourself a headache. Yeah, but I used to be this way. Who cares what it used to be? You used to be 10 years younger. You could have done it mild. You can't do it anymore. So what, are you going to have a pity party over it? How it used to be? We don't worry about that. You don't pass that on to the new person that's looking at the business. The current realities is what dictates the marketplace. And whether I like it as a CEO or not, because trust me, I just lost $500,000. I'm not in a good mood. But what am I going to do? Sit down and have a pity party over it? No, it is what it is. It happened, and the Nigerian government decided to do it. You know, I could decide. My decision is, you know what? It's not feasible to do business in Nigeria anymore. So I think I'm going to stick to my other 157 countries and not do business in Nigeria anymore. I can't get my money out. The economy, the banking rules keep on changing. I can have all of this type of conversation. I don't. I've done this for 26 years. Right now it's this. 5 years from now it'll be something different. The one thing doesn't change though. Every time the economy takes a hit, that opens up the door, an opportunity for us to help a lot of people to make more money, and in doing so, we make more money. So next time somebody brings up the exchange rate, just put a stop to it right away. So listen, it's irrelevant. Because if you allow this type of conversation to happen, what are you going to do if the Nigerian government decides that right now it's 230, 220, whatever, it decides it's going to be 400 next month. So what are you going to do? Die? Or you're going to work within the environment of the market? I can guarantee you one thing. If Nigeria's currency becomes like Iranian currency, which is 30,000 to 1, MLM would still thrive. In fact, it will thrive 10 times as fast. Because that means people really, really, really need to do something. It doesn't matter. Economics doesn't stop just because, you know, rates change. Whether you are in Iran at 30,000 to 1, in Canada, you know, which is almost in par, well, 70% of US dollars, where Iran outperformed Canada. In Nigeria, you're at 220 to 1. In Nigeria, you outperformed Canada for like 2 years. For 2 years, well, how did you do that? If it mattered, well, how did Nigeria outperform Canada, you know, for 2 straight years? So it all comes down to your perspective. You can have a pity party about everything, right? But you can waste your energy on that if you want, or you can say, all right, okay, so we got new set of rules. Let's make some changes to our PowerPoint. Let's have a nice strategy session with our people, and let's just go back to work. It makes no difference. And if you're getting in this industry, and MLM has been around for 70 years now, 70 years, it's here to stay, right? It keeps on expanding, growing. In 10 years from now, 5 years from now even, 2 years from now even, the realities, the current realities in Nigeria would be different than it is today. You don't worry about that. You don't worry about that. You just go out and do what you do, and you make your money. I hope I have really brought it down as firmly and as simply as I could to make sure that some of these things that should be an absolute non-issue, that shouldn't be a conversation, because one thing I know about people, sometimes they make a point out of no point, and they fuel it with energy, and it consumes a lot of people's time and energy. And really, when you break it down, the whole discussion was over air. It has nothing to do with anything. Whether it's 160, whether it's 220, whether it's 400. Nigeria will thrive in MLM, as it has been. It's a new market right now. Right now, what do you got? 20, 25 companies operating there? Wait, you're going to have 200 in 2-3 years from now. Just like what happened here in Canada. And they'll come in whether the exchange is at 500 to 1, 1,000 to 1, or 5 to 1. It makes no. So anyways, I think we've covered that. The next thing we want to talk about is, I don't know if we should talk about it, but the skincare line. We had our last meeting. The formulation is ready. The new formulation is ready. And I'm really, really, really revved up about it. It's a multi-stage formulation now. We got some tremendous views in all the surveys that Sanaz did with her team. Tremendous. I mean, we're extremely happy with the results. But we went back to the drawing board, because part of the survey we sent out we put some extra questions that didn't even relate to the products that we were producing and the skincare line we're producing. And we found out that people wanted other things like, wrinkle remover or, taking the darkness of the eyes and those type of things, right? But when we initial products that we were creating, we didn't think about those things because we really wanted the absolute best cream, day cream, night cream, and those type of things, right? But when we saw the survey and what people were desiring to have, then we called our scientists back in and we start talking and come with a whole new formulation. We still want to have 4 products. And I don't want to have, 4 or 5 products. I don't want to have 30 different products because, we're not a skincare company, nor do I want to be. I mean, I think we can accomplish what we want to accomplish with a simple line than with a complex line. I mean, I asked the scientist one question. I said, look, there's maybe 20 different things that people want to, do with their skin, hydrate, whether it is or if it's too oily, to correct that, and the pH level, the wrinkles, and all of this stuff, right? The color, the tone, everything. I said, do we really need 20 different products to do that? Because that's what the other companies do. This, they come up with a product for one thing, right? So then you need to have all these different products as a set, they call it, right? But because I'm not a skincare business, I'm looking for a better solution. So I asked them, I said, do you really need to have a specific product to do one thing? I mean, can the product do 2 things, right? So he kind of looked at me and smiled. He said, it all depends how much money you want to make. So the point is that, yes, some of these different attributes that people are looking for can be put into one. One product can do more than one thing. It doesn't have to be just doing one thing. So we come up with a multi-stage solution. You guys are going to be absolutely floored when it comes out. I think the important skincare line is that obviously it's going to have the same challenges for expansion like other companies are having right now, because now it requires maybe some type of clearance with the government. We'll see. We'll do it for our major markets and we'll take care of it. But I think what it will do, the advantage it will give you as LCs is that there's a lot of companies operating in your country right now or around the world who are already in skincare line companies, right? So now you have you can give them an offer with a product that's even better than theirs, but let's put that aside for a minute. Let's say it's the same. It's not. Let's say it's the same because I'm making a point here. Now you have skincare, plus you have 1,400 other SKUs, 20 different verticals of products that they don't have. So it gives you an advantage talking to other MLMers when the skincare comes out. So I'm excited about that. As usual, we're going to do it right. We just finalized the packaging, and it's spectacular. It's gorgeous. So I won't talk about it, but obviously we're going to release our skincare line at the prestige level. Everyone else is releasing as a masstige level because 3 different levels. You got the stores, the drugstore, Walmart quality. Then you have the department store quality, which is called the masstige, and then you've got the prestige, which is the best quality, like Chanel's and some of those things. So we're launching ours at a prestige level, yet we still want to keep the price, very reasonable. So that's, it's progressing. Now we've done the packaging. You have to order it. Obviously, but it's finalized now, and the formulation is absolutely insane. Really happy about that. We talked about, just got some notes over here. We talked about the recession for MLM is good. And here's the thing about MLM as well. When the economy gets hit, again, it affects your jobs, right? If job security, full-time jobs become part-time jobs and so forth. The world talks about, every financial expert will tell you, precious metals and stone is a hedge against inflation. You heard that? Precious metal is a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against money. So, in other words, when your currency takes a beating, like everywhere in the world is becoming, everywhere's taking a beating. You just took a 30% beating in Naira, right? When a currency takes a beating, what you want to do, invest in the precious metals and precious stones, because when a currency goes down, when a paper currency goes down, doesn't matter what currency it is, precious metals go up. Precious stones go up. Again, another of the hundreds of advantages that our company has over other companies. We are in a precious metal business, right? So I wrote in my book, The Forensic Networker, since we already know that precious metals and stones is a hedge against money, then MLM is a hedge against jobs. Let me explain that to you. Again, when money goes down because of inflation, gold and silver and diamonds go up, right? That's called a hedge. You don't want to have money and when it takes a beating and you just take a beating like I did, right? You want to make sure that if one takes a beating, you want to make sure the other one is there to expand, because one goes on, the other one goes up automatically. Automatically, right? So precious metal is a hedge against money. So money goes on, precious metals go up. It's gone up 30% this year, gold and silver, right? So I know one asset is going up, one asset is going down. Money goes down, precious metals go up. Same, that MLM then is a hedge against jobs, because job is a depreciating commodity, is a depreciating asset. I have that in a chapter in forensic called the Forensic Economics. So basically jobs, there's wage freezes because of inflation. Even you get a raise, the raise cannot keep up with the inflation. That means whatever you get paid in your job will buy you less goods, services, and lifestyle next year, less than it is this year. In other words, it's a depreciating asset. So how do you hedge a depreciating asset, in this case your job? And what I'm telling you is 100% stats been going on for 30 years, not a new thing. So how do you go ahead and hedge a depreciating asset, in this case job? Then you want to hedge it against an asset that's appreciating, which is a business. And for most, the only way to start a business is MLM, right? So you start your MLM business, your GWT business, you can't keep on doing your job will struggle to try to keep up with the market, but your MLM business starts from zero, right? It starts with you. Then you keep on building little at a time, little at a time, little at a time, and get 5 people, 10 people, 20 people. They start to make $50 here, $20 there, $100 here, $150, $300 there. All of a sudden, next thing you know, your MLM business at the end of the year, because you're going to have down months too, at the end of the year, you take a look and say, look, I made, I don't know, $10,000 in my job, and I made $5,000 in my MLM business. Your $10,000 in your job could have not maintained your lifestyle because of the inflation, but the MLM business not only maintained your lifestyle, it gives you some more money to upgrade your lifestyle, maybe put you some money to saving. So MLM is a hedge against your jobs. It's not a choice anymore, folks. It isn't. It's a necessity. If you don't do this, what are you going to do? Get another job? If that was that easy, then you know what? We wouldn't have a problem. But there is no jobs and people don't have time. That's why MLM is hedge against jobs. You must do it. Next thing I want to talk about is that sometimes when people don't have these facts, the things I'm talking about, they discourage and they quit. Or worse, they think by going to another company, life gets better. Again, I laugh because I've seen this for 26 years. I've built 4 multi-million-dollar businesses, up to 100,000 people in MLM as a distributor before GWT, and now there's a 5th multi-million-dollar company that I've built. So people come and go. Don't focus on that. Focus on people who are remaining. You don't need the entire 160 million people in Nigeria to be a millionaire in GWT. You don't. You need 5,000, 10,000 people, and you'll be a millionaire in GWT. Some will come, some will go. But here to tell you, the principles, the structure, the infrastructure, the mechanics of building an MLM doesn't change when you go from one company to another. It doesn't change. You still have to prospect, make a list, prospect. You still have to do presentation. You still have to be good at presentation. You still have to be good at testimonials. You still have to be good at doing trainings. You still have to be good at all those mechanical things. From one company to another, it will not change. Sometimes people think, oh, I went to this meeting and they had this product. It sounds really exciting. So what? Once the warm bath dissipates, the excitement of the new story you just heard, Monday morning, you have to build an MLM business. And it's back to the exact same thing. Now you're out there again prospecting. People are saying, no, they won't show up to your meeting. They tell you to go fly a kite. Oh, this, oh, I got sick. Oh, I had diarrhea because I had your product. Oh, I don't like the taste. You're going to go through stuff you don't even get here. The difference is, even if I have to degrade my company to bring it to the same stratosphere, to bring it down to the same stratosphere of other companies, even if I have to do that with you right now, let's look at it this way. You go join another company and your people, because of the excitement of the story, they'll get in. I call it mass entry, mass exit. They come in and they leave, right? Now you got a whole bunch of angry people who have all these products that expired in the basement and they lost their investment. In GWT, vast majority of people that love their shoes, that love the product, that keep on using it. You're going to have some people that squeak no matter what. Oh, but it turned color, whatever. And even those people, they'll have products they're going to use for life. They're going to cherish for life after their petty parties. So here, you're offering something that's with value, something that's used over and over and over again. I mean, just look at Facebook. Look at social media. You see people flaunting and showing off their new fortune of fashion they just got in. At least with us, you'll use your shoes, your optical, your sunglasses, your watch for the next 10 years. Any other company, well, once the tea is gone, once the skincare is gone, once the weight loss is gone, you know, and now you lost your investment, you didn't gain anything out of it, right? So that's why, you know, I would say we hope that people don't make a mistake thinking, oh, just because I went to another meeting and sounded exciting, somehow they can, you know, life gets easier. Somehow they can bypass the MLM structure. Somehow they can bypass the mechanics that it takes to become wealthy in business. It doesn't. It doesn't matter if you're getting a restaurant business, you know, a steak business, or whether you're in a McDonald's business, or whether you're selling clothes, whatever it is. The mechanics of running a business, showing up to work, learning your trade, getting to work, talking to people, finding customers, servicing customers, that the mechanical side of it remains. Doesn't matter what product you're selling. And people's issue, 90% is not the product itself, it's the mechanics of building a business. And when you sell something that everyone else is selling, which is health and wellness, it's tougher to find a customer than when you're selling something that no one else in the industry has, which is fashion, right? So again, I just want to quickly talk, because I get once in a while somebody says, you know, how do I keep my people in? I say, you know, don't worry about that. I mean, here we are, you know, first of all, we want to focus on who we have, right? Because when you launched with GWT, every single one of you, when you launched with GWT, first it was just you, right? There was nobody else in your team. It was just you. And whether that was 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you got in and you built whatever you've built with you right now. So you ask yourself a question, which I always ask my team every year on New Year's Day. I say, if we were to start MLM GWT today, right now, I'm asking you on the phone, if you were to start a GWT business today, can you build an MLM business? Can you build a thriving business with these products that we have now, with these accolades that we have now, with all the awards, with the compensation plan, with all the experience you've gained? Can you build a business today compared to when you started? Without exception, everybody says, of course. I mean, today our products are better than it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Our comp plan, we got this crazy wholesale profit out there, all this great stuff with the comp plan. We got tons of more accolades and awards. You have experience now. You have a team. If you decide to reset your business today, you don't have to start just you. You have a team. Doesn't matter who's active, who's not active. You still got some people there who are active. They see your new attitude. They reset. Boom. You're much better shape today than you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago when you launched your GWT business in Cameroon, Nigeria, wherever you are. So don't focus so much on people who come and go. That will happen. It'll happen. Focus on the remaining and focus on the new blood. Let's go out to build it. You built it once before with products that were not to the same level as this right now, with a company that was not the same level as right now, with the experience that you did not have. You built it once before, it's much easier to do it now, providing you show the same level of enthusiasm. You've got to do that, because this business is 80% excitement and 20% knowledge. So if you don't have the excitement and enthusiasm, it doesn't matter if we give you a cabinet of gold. Your enthusiasm is not going to take you, it will not get you successful we're in the storytelling business, MLM, so they get excited because you're excited. All right, so we talked a little bit about that. All right, so I kind of broke down a little bit of, because you guys are a new market, so I thought maybe I just share a little bit. What's the difference between an amateur MLMer versus a professional MLMer? Let's talk about that, okay? So an amateur MLMer will quit after being discouraged. It's just, you know what, I don't know why people quit, because that kind of is a mystery to me. Because, I think I was one of the best to keep my people in, because I asked a simple question. Simple question. When somebody said, I want to quit, I said, okay, let's fast forward a week, and you've quit your GWT business. So now what? See the silence? Those are two key words. Now what? Your lifestyle just went back to pre-GWT. Obviously, that sucked. It wasn't good. You wouldn't be here. Obviously, you came here because something wasn't working very well. You needed more money, less stress, whatever. You hated your job. You want to send your kids to Harvard. I don't know. Whatever that reason was that got you to want to be self-employed, that wants to start your own business, get into the MLM profession, whatever that reason was that brought you here, if you quit this, then you've gone back to pre-GWT. Now what? I'll let you think about that. Once your emotions calm down, whatever self-made grievance you're holding on to, it's not going to help you once you quit GWT. You still got the same big problems you had before GWT. At least here, you got the world's best, most respected, most prestige, premium MLM company in the world. I'm not saying this. You see it all over the world news, right? You see it already. So at least here you got an unbelievable vehicle that gives you a light at the end of the tunnel. You close that light, you're back in the dark. Pre-GWT darkness. So when people say, I want to quit, I say, okay, let's fast forward you a month or two. Now what? Think about it. And if you think you're going to join another MLM company, I already talked about that. The minute that the honeymoon phase, that warm bath of this excitement and stories wears off, and you actually have to hit the pavement and build that business, you start to realize that you're facing tons of challenges that health and wellness brings to you that you don't even have in GWT. And convincing somebody to pay so much for a coffee, or use a product that tastes horrible, or somebody gets a reaction because they're detoxing, or you have to become half a doctor to explain the product, or somebody does a Google search, find out 16 different variations of the same product for 1/10 of the price, or try to ship it to other countries, get stuck in customs. How about this? Somebody tried it, got sick, and sued you. Happens a lot in MLM, right? So amateur MLMers don't understand these things. They thought, oh, just come in, drag two people to a meeting, and you become a millionaire, right? But that doesn't even make sense. If somebody told you that, come on, we're sophisticated people, aren't we? Really? It was that simple, really? We know it's a business from day one. Don't blame the guy who brought you in. If he was ignorant, you shouldn't be. You already know it's a business. It takes time. Doesn't matter if it's the world's best business. Doesn't matter if we're just rated in the top 20 or 650 MLM 2 days ago. It doesn't matter. So at the end of the day, you have to understand it's a business. So amateur MLMers don't understand this. Professional MLMers, when they get discouraged, and they will, don't think the professional MLMers don't get discouraged. Don't think they don't have the same challenges that you're facing. They are. But instead of being discouraged, what they do, they attack the business. They attack the problem. They attack the multiplied efforts. They go on what we call all-out massive action. All-out massive. They attack it. And to get themselves out of that valley. It's like this. You got a football team. You guys like football, right? Soccer. If your team is behind, and Nigeria's got a pretty good soccer team, you guys are pretty good. What happens in the first half? You're behind 1-0, 2-0. What do you think the coach is telling them? Oh, let's quit. We're discouraged. Halftime? No, man. They're coming out and they're blazing. They're blazing. They're attacking the adversity to catch up and to win. That's how you handle your business. When you get discouraged, get mad. And get mad at yourself. Don't get mad at anyone else. Get mad at yourself. That's how you get better. Another thing, amateurs don't need training. They know it all simple. Hey, I can sell sands to the Arabs. I don't need training, right? This happens all over the world. It's not a Nigeria problem. It happens all over the world. Pros never stop learning. And they're always seeking perfection, and they're always seeking new perspectives on the business. So amateurs don't need training. Oh, I was on a call already twice. Do I need to be on a call again on Sunday? Those are amateurs. I can get into detail why you should never, ever, ever, ever miss an event, whether it's a call or boot camp. I won't get into it right now, but the main reason why you don't, two reasons. One of them is that you need the information. But most importantly, if you don't, your people won't either. They will duplicate your effort. You can't tell them, oh, get on the call on Sunday, and you're not on it. They won't. So amateurs don't need training. At least they think they don't need training. And pros never stop learning. They always seek perfection and new perspectives. Amateurs see MLM as MLM. I know that confused you. Amateurs see MLM as MLM, as if it's some type of social club to join and drag two people to a meeting every week and see what happens and become a millionaire. That's what amateurs see MLM as. Pros see MLM as a business that they have to learn, go to work, pick up the phone, sick or not, discouraged or not. It's like a part-time job. You don't show up. You don't just not show up to a part-time job because you're having a down day. I don't think I'll go to work today because I don't feel good. I'll go to work today because, you know what, I'm discouraged. I don't want to go to my job today because there's a good show on TV. My friend's coming over. You don't do that with a part-time job that gets you nowhere in life. Yet when it comes out to MLM, amateurs see MLM as MLM, as if MLM is something that you sometime. It's not part-time, because in forensic I talk about what is part-time, what is sometime, right? Amateurs see MLM as something other than the business. Oh, I'm in MLM. Ask you, what does that mean to you? Well, we sell products and I drag two people to a meeting, and when they sell product, I make money. That's not what MLM is. Multi-level marketing. All that means is that you get paid in different levels. MLM is a business. That's it. MLM is a form of business. You got franchising, you got multi-level, you got direct sales, you got traditional retail business. It's a method of doing business. Pros see that, amateurs see it as something else. I don't know what they see that. They think maybe social group. I show up on Wednesday to a hotel and drag two of my friends and I'm a millionaire. I don't know. And they show up, that doesn't happen, and then they quit and they say, well, it didn't work. Don't be an amateur. Amateurs think by switching companies, life gets easier. Pros knows it's not the business that's problematic. It's the driver. It's not the vehicle, it's the driver. So you can switch 16 companies. I make fun of it, by the way. I say that, show me somebody who's done nutrition in MLM. You're showing someone who's tried 6 of them. Every year they got a new product and they call it a miracle. Oh, wow, this one's a miracle. So you show me someone who's on MLM in nutrition. They've done 6 of them. Every year, they're on the next one. They think the next story, the next juice, the next story is the answer. And once they go to the next company, they realize that, well, once the warm bath dissipates, doesn't matter which juice you're selling, the mechanics of the business remains. Then they go change to the next company, and the next company, the product sells itself. Let me put you something this way. No product in the world sells itself. And ours is the closest thing to that because at least it's visual. People approach you, they see it. But even that requires you to gain your skills to be able to present it properly. So, amateurs think by switching companies, life gets easier. Pros know it's not true. It's not the business, it's the person doing the business. The business is a vehicle to get you to where you want to go. It's the driver that drives the vehicle. Doesn't matter what company it is. Amateurs complain, pros comment and inquire. All they do, amateurs, is that they just love to find something to talk about, to complain about. Pros, they're not interested in that. They'll make a comment, they'll inquire, they ask questions, they move on. Not one product or not one problem can stop your business. I was talking earlier about don't worry about your economical problems. Don't worry about your exchange rate. It makes no difference to you. That new person doesn't know any better. Amateurs think they do. They complain, and all that does kills them and kills the environment. Amateurs expect others, or maybe the company, to solve all their problems. Pros seek guidance from others, or the company, to solve their own problems. I mean, some of the emails we get, and people want us to solve these problems they're having in their country. It's not a GWT problem. You're in business. You're a business person. Get it done. Now, lucky for you, I was a distributor, so we have this greater understanding of what it takes to be a distributor, so we're there to help. Recently, Cameroon had some issues with their import, and we got involved in that, you know. But the leadership took charge, and we were there. We were there to back them up 150%. So amateurs expect others or the company to solve all the problems. Pros, professional networkers, seek guidance from others or the company to solve their own problem. Amateurs think short term. I didn't make any money last month or last 6 months or maybe this week, whatever. Well, when you launched your MLM profession, that's what it was, what did you think it's going to be? How long did you think it would take? What, you know, you're going to make $1 million if it takes you all weekend? I mean, we have a chapter in Forensic about that too. 8 categories of distributorship. It's a business. Pros look at this as a long-term project. You know, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I got involved, I guess it was 1990, not too many people talked at all about Now Cash. Nobody talked about that. We understood MLM to be something you do long-term aside from your job or your business, and you get residual income. The whole thing was about 550. Worked off for 5, take the next 50 off. That's what the whole concept was. Residual. But MLM has evolved and changed now, and it's all about, well, they make money, you know, oh, my check is down, or so what? Remember, it's a hedge against your job, whatever that amount is. Amateurs don't lead or follow. They just get in the way. You know what I'm talking about. They're not leading anything. They're not following anything. They have no solution. They just complain. You know, they complain. They get together, they fight, they complain, they contaminate. That's what they don't lead or follow. They just get in the way. Pros lead or they follow, and they stay out of the way. So if they have an issue, if they're having a bad moment, if they're having a bad week, or they shouldn't have I mean, no one should have an extended party, but if they do, at least they're not contaminating everyone else. So amateurs don't lead or follow. They get in the way. Pros lead, follow, and they stay out of the way. Amateurs socialize the business. They don't buy any tools. They don't invest in the training. They don't give away any mag packs. They do not use the tools at all, or the way it should be. Pros separate MLM from social time. They understand that talking to an elevator with somebody, that's not doing business. I mean, people say, oh, I talk to everybody, no one's interested. Okay, tell me what you say and when you say it. It's always on some type of social, casual conversation on the phone, face-to-face at the mall, in the elevator. You don't build a business. Would you buy anything if somebody tried to sell you something on a conversation? You go to the store, you look at, you feel, touch, get information, you look at the whole thing, and yet you want people to jump on the bandwagon with you when you socialize the business. Can't do that. Amateurs like their pity party and want to share it with as many people as possible. They love pity party. They love complaining. Pros get rid of their pity party, and if somebody in their team have it, they'll suppress it from others. I mean, Ross Perot, he was a presidential candidate. He's a guy who's a billionaire, U.S. billionaire. He said something I love. He says, negative people, he says, don't get rid of your negative people. They're too valuable, he says. He was being, of course, sarcastic. He says, trade your negative people to your competitors, because nothing kills an organization more than a negative person. So, you know what? We have no place for that in our business. Amateurs have opinion on everything. Pros have knowledge. I mean, I love people who have, they give their opinion, and if it's not 100% wrong, it's 99.9% wrong, but they're delivering that wrong or false opinion as fact. And many times they outright lie about it. That doesn't help them. I don't know why people do that. It doesn't help you when you embellish the truth. It doesn't help anything. But what it does is it contaminate the surrounding. So pros don't have opinions on things. They have knowledge. In other words, they inquire, they ask questions. And what they know is a knowledge that required, not an opinion that they have. Because we know the facts. Everyone has an opinion, and 98% of that is inaccurate. It is an actual scientific fact. Everyone has an opinion on everything, and 98% of the opinion is false. But yet some people are very strong in delivering that false information. Amateurs, it's all about them. Pros, it's all about the others. You know, we talk to amateurs, talk about I didn't make any money, how do I do this? It's all about them. Pros, they always seek and ask questions, they want solutions that helps their people. Amateurs think they're saving by not investing to business tools and training. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You just spend 500,000 naira in a diamond, go spend 200,000 in tools to protect the investment. It makes sense, doesn't it? You put into tools to protect the investment. Spend 100,000, 150, whatever. But you need tools because we're in a visual business. It's not socializing business. So amateurs think that they're saving by not investing into business tools and training. Pros avoid, listen carefully, pros avoid the high cost of not being educated by investing heavily into tools and training. Because trust me, you're not saving any money by not getting trained and having tools. It's costing you a fortune. You invest heavily. I mean, you buy insurance for your home, not because you want extra cost. You buy insurance for your home to protect the assets. That's what training and tools do for your MLM business. Amateurs are often unreasonable with their expectations. Pros are very logical. Okay, pros understand the mechanics of the business. Amateurs tend to think everything should be here yesterday, with the limited knowledge that they have, the limited effort that they put in. Amateurs expect others to be perfect. Pros expect themselves to be perfect. I mean, you get people called, they expect us to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect company in the world, but they expect us to be perfect. And when we take a look, they complain about maybe they're not making money or whatever. Then we ask some questions. When was the last time you were on a boot camp? When was the last time you did this? Talk to your upline, do a tour. We find out that they haven't spent any time or any effort. They haven't done anything properly to be successful. They want us to be successful, perfect. They want the upline to be perfect. They want the products to be perfect, the company to be perfect. But that's not how the pros work. The pros don't worry about the things they have no control over. The pros expect themselves to be perfect in the environment that they are. So we can go on and on. I think I'm just going to stop right here. And there are so many pyramid scams that are coming out exactly, because they realize that the economy requires it. You're going to find many, many things pop up weekly. I remember there was a time I was talking to a leader. This is about 1995. So it's about 20 years ago. And I sat down to my leadership and was talking to them. My upline, of course, my upline, not my downline, because I was negatives up, right? Negatives up, positives down. I said, at that time I was building a nutrition company. And I said to them, Guys, the problem why a lot of our people aren't making any money is because just this week alone, two nutrition companies launched in my city. I mean, and this is 20 years ago, right? This is nothing compared to what it is now. Then maybe we had 100 companies, 150. Now it's like 5,000 companies out there now. So you're going to find with what's going on with Nigeria, with the economy going down, other countries would want to, because other countries, the leadership in MLM worldwide, they know what I just shared with you. Every MLM leader from other companies, they're now targeting countries like Nigeria because, okay, people are ready. There's a sale going on in Nigeria. We got to go and get our people now, right? Because a lot of people are looking now to make more money. So they're going to pop left and right. You're going to see, it's going to come to a point that in your city in Nigeria, there'll be like 5 different companies launching the same week. It's going to happen just like it happened here. And when that happens, a lot of it's going to be scams, by the way. They weren't going to make it. Lots of them are going to be scams. They're here for a year or 2 years and they're gone. But let's put those aside, right? But even the ones who are legit, when the more of that happens, the more you're going to feel at peace that we feel in Canada, US, in the developing MLM countries. The GWT is that blue ocean versus the red shark-infested MLM ocean outside. Because when you have 15 meetings going on at the same time in your city, they're all promoting the best juice, the best vitamin, the best weight loss product, the best skincare, the best telecom product. They're all competing, bashing each other. The only company in town that doesn't get involved in that silliness is GWT. Because no one else in fashion, in luxury, in precious, does what we do. No one does fashion the way we do. Some imposters are starting to try to give an impression, but of course, when you look into it, you'll find out there's nothing but, it's just an empty hole. There's nothing there. So when Nigeria's become an MLM hub, it'll take 10 years, but it'll be there. I can guarantee you that you got the right environment for MLM to become explosive in your market. GWT is going to be the only safe blue ocean in a shark-infested, competitive red ocean of MLM. So at this point, I'm just going to open up the phones, and you know what? Share with me whatever you want to share with me about problems and all this stuff. You can send the ticket in, or people will take care of it. It's about us, sharing some ideas together. If you have some, ask any questions, and not technical questions when it comes to products and comp plan, but general MLM questions. Lester, you want to share your experience? You want to share? If you have something good to add, by all means, I'd love to hear. And also the host, if we have maybe the LCG group on the call, let's get them to share some of their perspectives. So at this point, I'll pass the call back to you.
Wow, absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, CEO. I'm just revved up right here. Absolutely awesome training. I couldn't have missed this for the world. This training right here, this discussion right here is worth over $5,000 as far as I'm concerned. And of course, people, we got this for free, absolutely free tonight. So we got some of LCG on the call. Who want to share some things with us as well, and so we're just going to unmute them, to share, as CEO has said. We have Renee Leo on the call. I don't know if Renee, I've unmuted you, one of our national ambassadors. Are you there? Okay, hello Renee. Okay, I'm sure he's gonna get back to us. He's gonna get back to us once he's able to deal with whatever it is that's happening at that end, maybe some technical issue or something. We also have on the call right here Regional Ambassador Sean Haynes. Hello, Sean.
Are they unmuted?
Yes, yes, just unmuted, Sean. Okay. All right. We have one of our LCG powerhouse gentlemen again, of course, National Ambassador Abdul Razak on the call. Hello, Abdul.
One of your own. One of your own.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good evening, Ambassador. Ambassador Anthony. How are you? Thank you so much for the privilege. Good evening, Ramin. What a call! What a call! And Ambassador, if you think you're revved up, you should see me right now. I'm doing somersault here because this is the kind of information that I've been trying to put out there, and of course, I've learned so much. Every opportunity that I get to listen to our CEO is always, an amazing opportunity to learn so much from a gentleman with, a truckload of, did I say truckload? Is a train load of experience in this industry. Just today, I can tell everybody this is a fact. I wish I could read blow by blow my conversation with that else prospect. It's somebody, that I want. The person who went to talk to her about 2 years ago is on this call, but I want to do this as a surprise for that person. That this is what I do for my people. I never let a prospect go cold. It doesn't matter if it's 1 year, it doesn't matter if it's 5 years, I keep the door open. I saw she posted a message online about, the birthday of her child. I said, well, this is a good time to talk to her. And I said, great thing, happy birthday, belated birthday to your son. What's happening? How's it going? And, she just took it out of my mouth. Hey, I see what's going on with GWT. You're doing well. Congratulations. And I said, fantastic. I see what you're doing yourself. And she has a brand going. And I said, we need to have a conversation. And she goes, about GWT. I said, yeah. I just want to bring you up to speed about what's happening and everything. So look, I had an opportunity, 2 years ago to start GWT. And I think I'm just too late right now. It's just, it's always good to get into this kind of businesses at the beginning. And I said to her, I said, you're wrong. This is the best time to come into GWT. You know why? Because we've crossed all the T's, we've dotted all the I's for all of you that never saw the picture before. And I told her, I said, look, I didn't even see the picture. I didn't even see the big picture when I started the business because it belonged to my wife. But 2 months afterwards, I see the big thing. And between that time and now, guess what? We've learned so much. We've gone through so many ups and downs. And right now, with what's going on in the country, all over the world, this is the best time for you to take another look. She says, so I said, look, let's have a conversation. Give me an appointment sometime next week. She says, Abdul, you know what? You're so close to, convincing me to sign up right now. I said, look, I don't need to convince you. That's not my intention. All I want to do is show you an opportunity that you're already losing out on. You're leaving so much on the table. This is a bright lady. We've had some engagement with her in the past. I know she can do so well. So, long story cut short, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time to open all your Rolodex. Go back to all your archives where you've put all those notes, your last year, 2 years ago, your journals. Go back, pick them up, dust them up, and look in the pages for the names of all your prospects that you ever talked to and those you never talked to, and get back into the game. It's our time, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a great opportunity here. We've got some incredible tools that are coming. We've got some great products that are yet to be launched. We have an incredible management. We're the best of the best in the industry, both network marketing and luxury designer industry. What are you talking about? It's our time. We've got less than 60,000 people in this business. Are you kidding me? This is the time to get into the trench and grind. Do it, not for yourself, Do it for your family. Back at you, Dr. Anthony.
Love it. Love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Eni Abdul, for that power stirring up as well again. Um, yeah, we have another of our amazing leaders, from Team Nigeria again on the call, Regional Ambassador Kafina Ajibola. Uh, Kafina, you are unmuted. Kindly just go ahead and unmute yourself at your end. Hello, Kafina. Hello, can you hear me?
You need to unmute yourself, folks, from your end.
Hello?
Yeah, all right, Kafina.
Yes, hello.
Good evening, Dr. Anthony. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Ramin. Wonderful call this evening. It's been so great, and I've learned so much today. Revved up again, and definitely we're going to pass it on to the team for those who have not been able to log in. Today, we're going to really change everything and correct most of the things and keep building the business to the billion. Thank you.
Thank you. Look, we don't have a choice. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. The economical realities are the economical realities. You don't have a choice. There's nothing. It's out of your control. So the only choice you have is to have a pity party and don't change anything and go down with the economy because that's what happens, or you attack it by finding new ways to maintain and thrive in the current economy. And by the way, every time economy crashes, more and more millionaires are created when the economy crashes than when the economy is strong. Here's the reason why. New opportunities arise when the economy goes down. That's not available when the economy is strong. So again, you have an opportunity right now to look at the current realities, the way the pros look at it, which is, wow, there's a buffet going on of people hungry to make money, or you can have a pity party thinking, oh, the economy's bad. If that's your conversation for the rest of your life, my grandfather used to say, God bless him, this is a long time ago, that economy's bad. God bless him, my father always said the economy's bad. Your grandfather says, this doesn't end. It goes on forever. That's an ongoing economy. It doesn't matter what the economy is. It's what you do within that economy that matters.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much again, Are Kafina, and yes to our CEO. Regional Ambassador Sherry Zhao, she sent a message. She just lost some connection, but she sent a message. She says, "Thank you, Ramin, for spending time sharing with us your amazing experience in the industry. I urge everyone in our GWT family to become MLM pros and take our CEO's words to heart." True words, true words.
Please look at
Dr. Anthony.
There we go. There's Renee.
Whoa. Yeah, hello, Renee.
Hi. Hello. Good evening to everyone. I'm actually here with Mr. Ed Mercer, and just wanted to share a quick few words here as well too. And I'll let Ed start first actually. So here's Ed Mercer.
Hey everyone, how are you?
Hey, good evening, Ed. How's Niagara Falls?
Oh my God, they just turned it down for us. They turned it off for the night, burning too much electricity.
You're breaking up.
Just kidding. You guys were on fire. You guys were on fire in Nigeria.
For sure. Ed, why don't you share a couple of words with our team Nigeria? It's a jam-packed call.
Yeah, you guys are. I have no idea how well you guys are doing so well. I'm so impressed. You're going to give me a reason why I should go to Nigeria.
Absolutely. So go ahead, share us a couple of words with us.
With this business, I've been in for longer than I care to say, but I've been involved actually for 50 years, full time in the industry. And I've never been involved in anything where the fellowship, the membership, and the leadership is so fantastic. And I always tell people there's three ships in the whole world. There's big ships, small ships, and friendships. And my gosh, it's like this is like an extended family to me, and I'm just so impressed with the integrity and the relationships that we're having in the business, and people that have no experience in the industry. Most companies that people get involved with, they have to have years and years and years of experience in the industry. And because of this is so online and so simple, even people with no experience can move forward in the business. And that's what I'm impressed with. It's all about family. It's all about relationships. It's all about, a lot of people say, well, I can't do certain companies only because it's so complicated and everything. But this here is so easy. So for me, it's just overwhelming. And I'm so impressed with the people in Nigeria and what you guys are really doing there. I mean, we have a showroom here in Canada. We have everything that everybody would want. And you guys are beating us by 400%. So you guys are so committed. I'm so, like I said, I'm so proud of you. I would love to have the opportunity to be coming to Nigeria and to be working with all of you on top of that.
You know what, Ed? I was talking earlier about, sometimes people will take a non-issue and make it into an issue and expand upon it. And you shared with me a story, I think you want to share with Nigerian. One of the problems you said you had in your previous coffee company was shipping fees from US to Canada. Now I know we subsidize our shipping fees heavily, but I don't think people know that. So why don't you share with me that story? Share with the team that story.
Well, with the shipping was actually 6 weeks to 8 weeks before we got our product, and unfortunately, 6 to 8 weeks, and the expiry date on the product was 90 days. so if you didn't, as soon as you got your product, if you didn't sell it the first week, you had expired product, and the shipping sometimes was almost as much as the product. So when I look at this, we have no expiry dates. I've never seen an expiry date on a diamond or a bracelet or a gem or a ruby, and so it's incredible. And we used to get all this product, and like I say, but if it was damaged or if I had a problem with it, we couldn't return it because it cost us more money to return the product than we paid for the product at the beginning. So it was a really a big problem. Although, I got involved in the business, and it was all about, I always tell people there's 10 reasons for being successful. Number one is integrity. The other 9 don't count. Basically, the company was doing some things. I had, in a big company I was with, I had 385 people I sponsored first line. And I went and when I came to GWT, I met with Renee, and he sponsored 100 people. He was making 100,000 a month. I had 1.3 million people worldwide in 86 countries. I was making the same amount of money he was making. So when I looked at this, I didn't have to make a big decision to join. It was like, oh my God, this was fantastic.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, thank you so much, Ed. I'm glad to have you on this call. Again, a jam-packed call in Africa. Congratulations to everyone that tapped into this call. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you did. I'll pass it on. I know that, Ed, you and your team are having a fun day in Niagara Falls, Ontario. And have fun. Renee's there. Your offline is there. I'm sure the Nigerians are doing the same thing with their team, getting them together in some park, somewhere by the beach, somewhere fun that people go to, having this bonding days. We're in the lifestyle business. We're in the bonding business. So I'll let you get back to your day. Thank you for being on the call, Ed.
Okay, thank you so much. God bless you all.
Take care. Back to you, Dr. Anthony.
Okay, thank you so much, Ed, and thank you again, our CEO. We have Regional Ambassador Joy Osegale on the call. Just share a few words with us as well. Hello, Joy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anthony. Thank you, our CEO, a very, very wonderful man, a man filled with knowledge. I wonder how old you are, Ramin. 150? You have so much wisdom. I also want to thank NA Abdu, Ed that just spoke now, and of course our Cameroonian powerhouse that stepped up in the AOM for this month. Basically, I want to encourage, in line with what our CEO have been, you know, charging us up with, everyone that have been feeling a little bit discouraged, don't get discouraged at all. I mean, currently, right now, I'm revved up, I'm charged up. I feel like going outside is it's almost to 11 here in Nigeria, to 11 p.m. Yeah, but I feel like going out and talking to people, letting them know what we have inside and what global world trade stand for. Don't get discouraged with people that come and go. This business definitely is not for everyone, right? People may have joined, people join this business for various reasons, and you do not have controls over why they join. And if at a given point they feel like, they want to step out, don't get discouraged. As CEO have said, focus on those that are staying and focus on your new blood. That is the lifeblood of our business. So above all, remember, global wealth trade is about changing lives. So we're not going out there to talk to people because we just want to make the money. We are really, really genuinely concerned about them. So when we talk to them, it's because we know that we have an opportunity that can, make them hit financial home run. And when you truly have this in mind, it's just a matter of time that prospect will see to it. Again, let's take advantage of the social media. You can't be blinking in the dark. No one is going to see you. Take advantage of the social media. I've had people, I even have some of them on this call. I've never met them. I never prospected them, but they contacted me as a result of my post on social media, Facebook especially. So people, get revved up. Nothing to us. Let's just keep doing it. And I know that we are already in the billion already. Thank you so much. Back to you, Dr. Anthony.
Wonderful. Amazing energy. What a leader.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to share something with us before I get another leader on the call. I'm sure you can actually see this slide. A couple of days back, I posted this on Facebook. Pension and You. This is the Vanguard newspaper, very popular newspaper in Nigeria. This is Thursday edition, June 23rd, 2016. I think in May, there was another edition like this that came on, but this got my attention and I had to just push it out there because this is the reality that people are faced out there. These are elderly men who have served their country, they have served their states, they have served in different companies. And look at these guys, in the streets demonstrating to get their pension payments. And just below that, you see PENCOM unleashes EFCC on employers over unremitted pension deductions. So whether it is the so-called life pension that you work for the government and then they pay you pension for life, or it's even a contributory pension plan, I mean, this does not actually guarantee anything at the end of the day. And when we talk about the direct sales industry, there's only one company out there. As far as I'm concerned, we've looked at a lot of things. We've seen a lot of companies. I mean, the passion that I have, in doing this business and the kind of mindset that I developed was just looking at the compensation plan and looking at the team and looking at the products and looking at what we have and then looking at the training opportunity that GWT provides. I'm telling you, this company is more than just about people, hey, come and make some money here. It's more than that. It's changing lives. It's doing great things. It's giving people the opportunity they need. I mean, GWT is just the company, anybody that is really interested in giving something to their next generation. Not just them having their lives changed, but residual income into the next generation and stuff that they can actually make use of, the precious items and so on. This is the company to be in. All right. And so when you find something like this, there's only one thing you want to do. You want to learn everything you need to know. You want to take action consistently, get more and more professional with it, refuse to be an amateur, become pro, as our CEO has said, get the forensic networker trainings and settle down on them and transform your mentality, transform your mindset. The training is so important for yourself. And then, of course, push that to your team members, who really want to, do well in the business. And one thing is for sure, the same stories that we've seen our leaders sharing, the earnings, the changing lives, they're traveling, they're doing things, the same thing will happen for you. It's no respecter of persons. Anyone that does what he needs to do with the company, you will definitely arrive at where you're supposed to arrive at. And we have the best of the best management team constantly looking, listening, and working and ensuring that we always have the best out there. GWT, in my estimation, is always light years ahead of any competition out there, if there even exists any competition at all. So dig in there, build the business, have the winner mentality, chew up every challenge, and produce testimony that you sure can actually produce, because definitely that testimony is waiting for you to be shared. All right. So thank you so very much for hearing me out, and we'll get some other leaders on the call as well.
Remember what I said. You start getting discouraged and start thinking maybe you shouldn't do this. Remember the two words. Okay. Now what?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have one of our regional ambassadors again from Nigeria, Lucy. Regional ambassador Lucy, she's on the call. I'm just gonna unmute you. You're unmuted, Ari Lucy. Can you unmute yourself at your end?
Okay. Hello, Dr. Anthony.
Hello, welcome on the call.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Hello, good evening, Dr. Anthony. Good evening, Mr. Ramin. Good evening, everyone on the call. Thank you for giving me the privilege to talk. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Ramin for taking out the time to educate us this night. It's very rare for you to see a CEO that will take his time, to seek the interest of his team members. He's always there, always wanting us to succeed in this business. We truly, truly appreciate you. I have learned so much this night, and I believe we've all really learned. All we just have to do is to change our mindset. I know, fine. Like, as I always tell people, whatever is happening right now is actually our country a problem. The Nigeria economic problem is not a GWT problem. I always tell my team members. So what we need to do, we just have to change our mindset, put what we have learned into practice, and we have to be there for our team. A lot of the team members, they don't really have, I don't know if it's the training, they listen to in fact, some we say some other companies are the best because of the IA program, this, that. I know it is tough right now in Nigeria, it's not easy. Most of us, we don't, and most people that work in this country, the salary package is nothing to write home about. And for them to keep up with the IA, I know it is not easy. But by the time they are fully well educated and they understand what the IA is about, they will know that yes, it's something they have to do, and to sustain the residual income. So most of the team members are people I talked to about GWT. If GWT could work for me, an MNL novice, I never knew anything about multi-level before I joined GWT. GWT is actually the first real MLM I did. If it can work for me and the position I am today, I don't think why it won't work for anyone. It just has to do with the mindset. If everybody can have an open mindset to this business, it's going to really work well. We'll all go to the billion, Like someone like me, like some other companies, it won't be possible, in the position I'm occupying right now in GWT, being a shareholder. It is only in GWT that you can get that. So far, believing my dreams, it'd be so wonderful. I always remain grateful to God. It has always been God, and God also used our CEO, So it really be an amazing journey. It is tough right now, but we just have to remain strong. Tough times, they don't last, but tough people do. So we just have to stay put, and we build to the billion. Thank you so much.
Good job, Lucy. Look, 3 points on that. First, If someone's not going to want to do this, they'll use excuses not to do this. I mean, we have those people, and they'll use all kinds of excuse. Take the Nigerian banking problem and make it a GWT problem. If people want to do that, they lie to themselves. That's fine. If someone wants to do that, they'll do it. Whatever excuse they need not to do this, and they'll move on, and they leave. When you do that, you leave your future in your local economy's hands, which is not a good idea anywhere in the world, let alone Nigeria with the issues they're having. For not doing something other than your job, you're leaving your future in your local economy's hands. Horrible business plan. But again, some people will do that. Second part is, I get that it's maybe tough for people for the IA and so forth. But what's the alternative? I mean, the only alternative you have is not to do anything, which is a bad plan, very bad plan. But whether you do IA or an auto ship, you have to. Any business will require you to buy and sell some products. Doesn't matter if it's GWT with the IA program or it's other companies with the auto ship program. The two differences, they both have it. Any other company in GWT, they all have it. The big difference here is, though, with us, we don't force you the same box you got for 16 months in a row that's gathered in your basement that you can't sell because it's tough to sell. With us, we give you an IA account where you at least buy what you want based on your taste or your customer's taste. At least we're not forcing you to make a purchase. And the second part is, at least here it's Canadian dollars, versus any other company that do auto ship, it's in US dollars. And they all will require you to spend 100 US or 200 US or 150 US on the top level auto ship. So every which way you look at it, unless you don't want to do anything at all, which means you're putting your future in the local economy's hand, again, bad idea. But if you're going to do something, which you should, every company has its monthly quota. Every company. And with them, it's in US dollars. With us, it's in Canadian dollars, 30% less. With them, you don't get a choice, you get a box. With us, you get a choice.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Lucy, and of course, I see you for your comments on that. We have Mr. Africa on the call, Brian Arindel. Hello, Brian. I've unmuted you. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, Dr. Anthony. How are you doing today?
Excellent and full of glory. Thank you. You're on the call.
Oh, fantastic. Well, first of all, I'd like to say, thanks to everyone for being on the call, and of course, thanks to our amazing CEO, Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou, for taking out the time, to spend it with everyone. I mean, that again shows, how committed he is to his people. And I mean, it's always great to be on these calls because you always sort of get a little bit of a wake-up call relative to, what's happening out there and the way your mindset should be. And one of the key takeaways for me was the list of, what basically an MLM Pro does in terms of, looking at challenges of business, challenges of economy, challenges of growth in terms of attacking. And again, that just shows the mentality of a true champion, which is, what our CEO wants to instill in us. So I would definitely take it away and utilize it in your daily action plan in terms of how you want to approach your business and go get it done. No excuses, just all-out massive action. And with that all-out massive action, the success is basically it's going to happen no matter what. So thank you for giving me the chance to speak. I definitely appreciate it. And I thank you very much again, Mr. Mesgarlou.
Good job, Brian.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Africa. Of course, like to, get our AOM, just to say a few words as well. Ella Chua from Cameroon. Ella, are you there? Hello, Ella. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, while we expect that to come on, Mr. Ramin, we'd just like to take a few comments. Some folks have written out their comments about tonight and some of their thoughts. Some of them quite interesting, and we'll just take a few of those comments. Um, I have from Olufunke Okere. She says, "I'm so excited and ready."
Hello.
Okay, Ella.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Ella.
Oh, hi.
Good evening.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, hi. Ramin, I just want to thank you for that amazing call. I think for most part of the call, you took the words right out of the mouth of my team. You know, sometimes when you start a new business and you talk to people, the first thing, you know, they go away with the impression thinking they're going to be millionaires in 2 days, and you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, when people who've started businesses, they probably made losses in their first year before they start to understand their market and make any money. They must have learned hard lessons, and that's the message that we want to pass to our teams to say, look, this is a business, we need to work it. It's not a scam, it's not an overnight success, it's something that you need to put work into to make it work. So that call was very factual, nails on the head. You are right, you are spot on about what's going on in the UK. It's the perfect opportunity. And yeah, we're going to reach people that are as forward thinking as that. And I just want to say, to be honest, I hope every LC was on this call, because we truly, truly, truly need it. And thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule, for listening to us and for talking to us. It really makes all the difference when you're in a company that puts you on, whose CEO has the heart to come down and speak with his members or with his business partners as you have. So God bless you and continue to bless you for that. And yeah, to the billion. Thank you, Dr. Anthony, for the opportunity.
Well done. Well done. Awesome. Again, we talked about amateurs versus pros, right? Amateurs versus pros. So hopefully you recorded this call and you could use it in your local meetings and trainings. Listen to the call and discuss it, because the key points that we shared has a lot to do with new markets like yours.
Absolutely, yes. Especially the amateur versus pro bit. Yeah, that was very, very key. I mean, that whole section will be a key take-home message for all our LCs.
Terrific.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ella. You've been doing an amazing job as the ambassador of the month, and kudos. More to come, right? All right. So let's just take a few comments, and then we have from Christiana Toa Boafo, says, "Wow, it's an honor to be part of this educative meeting, and it's free." I mean, this lady is amazed that this type of meeting was free, you know. And then Olufunke Okere says, "I'm so excited and revved up. I joined in the call tonight. What a great insight on the importance of strategically positioning oneself in the MLM business, considering the current state of affairs in most parts of the world. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou, for creating such a phenomenon. You are simply the best. I appreciate and celebrate you."
Right. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
And McLean Murray says, "Thanks much, my CEO, for your continuous great trainings."
Thank you.
Benga Akinsola says, "Good evening, our very gallant CEO. Thank you so much for the amazing call tonight. We're really inspired. We live in France with a determination to make this work with indigenous French people. We have a few in the team. We need to look at weekly webinars in French, train LCs and prospects in France. There's a great market in the French world, and we'll make our business tools and communications in French. To the billion, thank you so very much." So well done, Benga. A lot of tools are available in French in the back office already, and you can make use of those. And of course, the GWT YouTube page, www.youtube.com patreon.com/GWTINC. You see a lot of materials right in there that you can make use of for your team. And then finally, on the comments, Payman Rasol Poor says that he has some problems with his voice, and so he's typing in his message. Please tell everyone GWT is the face of the MLM industry. With these products, our CEO's attitude and his great mindset, we're going to rock the world. That's the message from Payman.
Awesome. And by the way, Payman is writing to you from Iran. He's located in Tehran.
Wow. Well done. Well done, Payman. All right. Okay, Ramin, we just want to take a comment from our Ghana team, Silas Metal, and then the South Africa, Nolan Pillay, and then maybe any final words from you as well. That'd be cool. So we're going to unmute Silas.
We're done, absolutely. I'm going to hang up too as well after Silas. I do need to get home.
Okay, all right. So Silas, you're unmuted.
Wow. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Dr. Anthony, for this call and the opportunity to speak. And to Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou, please accept my heartfelt gratitude for taking time out to create this opportunity and ongoingly educating us on this opportunity. You are truly an MVP to this industry. So what I want to share is quite simple. Like, it really hit the nail on the head, because mostly people come in and then they quit because they don't understand the industry. So they come and they say, I don't need any training. Well, we need training in every endeavor that we do so that we become a pro. So one thing is that we have to fall in love with the process. So once you fall in love with the process, you identify and know the skills that you need to learn and develop and master it, so that it strengthens your focus in the industry. Once your focus is strengthened, you will see the great prospects that this business brings. So not to hold everybody much, I would like to simply share that it's important. If it's important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not, you're going to find excuses, and even the excuses itself will pursue you, and they will pre-introduce you in all your endeavors. So team, if you're on this call now, congratulations to you. Stay on point, and also stay committed, and it will happen for you soon. Thank you.
Perfect, Silas.
Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Silas. Now, finally, down to South Africa, Nolan Pillay.
Wow. Thank you very much, Dr. Anthony. What an awesome call. And thank you to Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou. There's no words to thank you enough for this call. We can never, ever learn enough. We're always learning. And something that struck me a lot about your call was MLM is a hedge against jobs. You hit the nail on the head, Mr. CEO. And what I like about you is whenever you're having any conversations, you're just on cue. You don't beat around the bush. You say it like it is. And that's absolutely fantastic, because we all take that as knowledge with us as well. And it teaches us how to become assertive as well. So folks that are on the call, I do understand what's going around in all of the countries. I mean, here in South Africa, it's almost midnight, but we're still staying on the call because we want to encourage as many people as possible and create the awareness as well. We are having daily webinars till end of June to push for the diamond promotion. So all the LCs that are on this call, here's the opportunity. Get your prospects on this call. Let us do the talking for them. And most importantly, follow your DMO, your daily method of operation. Put it down on paper and do exactly what everyone else is doing, what all the other leaders are doing out there, and let's get the job done. That's what it really is about. As our CEO has said, we have visual products. I mean, I use my products almost every single day. I want to be noticed. I make it a point of letting people look at me so that a conversation can be struck between them. It just makes it so much more easier. So thank you once again, and don't have pity parties. Let's go out there and get the job done. So thank you once again to Dr. Anthony for hosting the call, and all the leaders on the call who shared your stories as well. We really appreciate it. And thanks once again to Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou. This is from Sima and myself down here in South Africa. Thank you very much.
Wow, South Africa, welcome, awesome. I know that you're on Facebook, you're very active. Congratulations, everything you said is bang on. I'm really proud of the quality of the leadership that we're gathering in Africa. So I look forward to seeing you guys in South Africa soon.
Great. We look forward to seeing you as well, Mr. Mesgarlou.
Wow. Thank you so much, Nolan, South Africa. Thank you so much for all the work and all of that. So, I mean, so many more comments, so many persons, of course, would have liked to share one or two things here on the call, but everything that has this amazing beginning, also, we need to bring the call to a close. And just want to say thank you so very much, Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou, for taking out the time to have this fireside chat with us, this heart to heart. I'm telling you what this has done for all of us on the call and for all of those who are going to listen to the recorded version of this fireside side chat tonight. You know, it's absolutely a great impact, and the effect of it will be seen, you know, into the future. And we're all going out for all out massive action, you know, to do what needs to be done. We've got to get the opportunity out there, and we're just so grateful for taking out this time. You know, we know how busy you are, you know, to do what you've done with us on the call tonight. So big thank you to you, Mr. Ramin.
My pleasure. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night,
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
The billion.
Yeah, to the billion.
To the billion.
Just a few more days to the end.
To the billion.
The Diamond Rush. So take advantage of Diamond Rush and rock it, all out massive action. Good night.
Yep, all out massive action. Good night.
No excuses.
No excuses. Yeah.
Woohoo!